doing that, man, we got another team in the NFC East that decided it was time to move on from their head coach, and
Mm.
that's the New York Giants. Brian Daboll is out. Who would they replace him with? I'm not sure just yet. I don't know if that broke already. I'm sure they got an intern in there now, interim head coach. I'm not sure, but we know that the Giants have let go of Brian Daboll. Joe, what's your instant reaction to this news?
I mean, this was long overdue. We saw
Yeah.
this coming. All right. This team been playing well, but they've been crumbling. AJ, they've been crumbling. And when we see a team crumbling, we look at the coach. We look at the head coach and see like, yo, why y'all crumbling? One thing we said about the Ravens, John Harbaugh, he all these double digit leads he keep giving up. We like, yo, it's the coach. We gotta look at the coach. The last 4 games, the New York Giants have given up 75 points in the fourth quarter, AJ. That's unacceptable. 75 points. They are 0-4 this year when having a 10 plus point lead on the road. Or 0-4. 0-4 this year when they have a lead by double digits on the road. And that Bears game was a collapse. I think that was the last straw for the organization. So you look at the Bears game, they were up 17-10 in the fourth quarter. Russell Wilson is in the game. Jackson Dart gets a concussion. It's first and goal, AJ. 17-10. You a 2-win team. 2 wins,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you already had these fourth quarter meltdowns. It's first and goal. It ends up being fourth and goal on the 1 yard line. They settle for a field goal. Now, hindsight is I can complain about that. At the moment, you probably like, yeah, I gotta just get a dub, play it safe. But why play it safe when you're a 2-win team? You got nothing to lose at this point. You go for the killer, you go for the win. You got to the 1 yard line, so they kick a field goal, it's 20-10. Bears come down, score a touchdown. You get the ball. You go 3-and-out. And then you punt the ball, and the punter shanks the punt. Like, that's part of the what? Caleb Williams had so many opportunities to get sacked, but they could not get him on the ground. He's scrambling, shaking all defenders and making plays. It was crazy. They come down and get a score, and then you get one first down, and then you don't get an opportunity to get a touchdown and put yourself in position to score. So it was the last moment. They're like, you know what? Let's get this man out of here. But the question I want to know is, why is the GM still there? It should have been a two-way package. The fact that he let Saquon Barkley walk away and go run for 2,000 yards and win a Super Bowl, it's ridiculous. And kept Daniel Jones now Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley 7-2. While you 2-7. How ironic is that right there? So the GM should be gone with Brian Daboll, and I think they did this because you know what? Hi, I think they did this because you know Jackson Dart is okay. We love you too. All right. Appreciate you for
We
tuning
do.
in.
We do.
Appreciate you for tuning in. Jackson Dart is hurt. I don't know how long he's gonna be out, but they probably like, you know what, let's just get rid of it and start from scratch. So I'm okay with the firing, but it should have been a 2 package deal with the GM.
Um, I'm very indifferent on this. I'm very indifferent on the firing because I like Brian Daboll. I think Brian Daboll is a decent head coach. He's not too far removed from winning Coach of the Year. I just think that given the situation he was placed in, I think the Giants expected too much from him. They put him in the season in a situation in which you got to go out here and win right now. Like you got to go out here, not say win now as a Super Bowl, but you got to come out and show that you're an effective team. You got to probably expecting him to be 500. Probably expect him to have close to a winning record, maybe a Mike Tomlin esque season. But we saw coming into the season what their schedule looked like. I mean, I remember when me and Kev did the Eagles panel, we was like, man, we believe in the Giants defense. We believe in the defensive line. You know, they got, Neighbors and they got Russell Wilson. They got these pieces over here. All of that is cool. And they got a promising future potentially with Jackson Dart before we saw Jackson Dart inserted into the lineup. But look at their schedule. I mean, they play Philly, they play the Eagles, they play this team, they play that team. Like, they not going to do much. It's hard to, I remember seeing a TikTok video that said, it's hard to find a win. It's hard to find a win on their schedule. That's how stiff their schedule was this upcoming season. So coming into this season, it's clear expectations shouldn't have been high to begin with. Not to mention, you put Russell Wilson out there to start because you have to start Russ. You went out this offseason and got all these quarterbacks. You got Jackson Dart, you got Russ, and you got Winston. And it's like, well, we got to put Russ out there. We paid Russ. So we got to put the veteran out there to show what he could do. and he was horrible. But with the exception of one game, I can't put that all on Dayball. Guys running open, Russell Wilson not hitting guys. Russell Wilson running and escaping the pocket too early. Then there are times where the offensive line simply wasn't blocking for Russell Wilson. So it was a lot of different issues there that, in my opinion, didn't have much to do with Brian Daboll. Then you put Jackson Dart in there, and it's clear he coaching for his job. This is the one part that I put on Brian Daboll. You got Jackson Dart running like crazy. All of these QB runs, all of these QB design draws and runs. And I understand the fact that that is a big part of his game. Like, that's a part of what makes Jackson Dart Jackson Dart. I know when he played us, that's a part of the reason why we couldn't beat him. We couldn't get him on the ground. We get into him in the pocket, but we couldn't sack him. He taking off on the Zion runs, taking off on Zach Bond, getting to the end zone. Like, that's a big part of his game, but you gotta coach him in a way that's safe. You gotta call those plays in key moments and in moments that obviously that you need them, but you can't call him 24/7. And I felt like he was calling them way too many times. They said this man has had 4 concussions this year, or been at least in protocol 4 different times this year. Crazy. And so I think that's probably the biggest reason why they letting him go, because it's like, that's the future. We see what Jackson Dart can do. We see he's promising. He's got a ton of talent, and you putting him in harm's way every game, but he doing it because his job on the line, Joe. Mm-hmm. He doing this like, I gotta do whatever it takes to win right now. Opposed to if he went into this season, if the Giants told Brian Daboll, hey, look, we gonna give we know that and granted, everybody's competitive. Everybody think they have a good enough team. The GM just let go of Saquon and just saw what Saquon did right this past season. So the heat is on him. The heat is on the ownership. The fans want to see the team be better. But if they go into this season right and they say, you know what, we know we're in a rebuild in a way. We know we just drafted a young quarterback. We know Russell Wilson is not the future, right? We know this defense has promise, all these different things. We're going to give you this year to figure it out. I think the year goes differently. I don't think he runs his quarterback as much because he's wanting to protect the future. That's the guy. That's the guy I'm riding with. So I'm going to protect him. We're going to drop some games, but this is going to be a learning experience. We will be better next year. The schedule won't be as difficult. We will make some moves in the offseason, and we will be better. But when you put his feet to the fire like you have, and you've basically just been like, look, if you don't win this year, meaning probably go 500, winning record, whatever the case may be, because we know they're not winning the Super Bowl. If you don't show promise this year, then you're fired. You put him in a bad situation with one of the hardest schedules in the league. So I just think I think he was dealt a bad hand, if I'm being honest. And I agree, if you let go of him, you got to let go of the GM, but we know that's not going to happen. I feel bad for him. I think he deserves another opportunity, but that's life in the NFL.
I think it was a writing on the wall, though. I think this should have happened over the all season. Like, it's what I don't get. Look at what the Commanders did last year. They got rid of Ron Rivera. They got rid of Bruce Allen. They got rid of everybody that was here in the old regime. They got a new quarterback coming in, and we're going to build a whole new culture with a new coaching staff and everything. Mm-hmm. Who's going to be the next leader in this organization? The Giants did the same thing. Look at Cam Ward and the Titans. They kept their coach and ended up firing them in the middle of the season. Look at the Drake May now. They did go get a new coach, but it was the wrong coach, and they got rid of him fast and got variable. And look at the coaching now; it changed completely. So that's what the Giants should have done. But instead, they wait. They let the QB play half the season, and then they mid-season fire their head coach. And then also, I get it. He runs QB draws and all that with Jackson Dart, but I'm not going to put that on him. It's on Jackson Dart also.
He got to protect himself too. Yeah.
He takes off and run a lot. So I heard somebody, I think Ron Clark came out and said something about that. But part of his game is you got to do that. I don't think he does it too much. It's Jackson Dart, bro. Jackson Dart, he takes off. He trusts his legs more than his arm right now, and he's young. That's normal. So, but I didn't know he was in concussion protocol for 4 times. You said that's some Tua-ish stuff, man. For real, that's detrimental to your life.
I don't know about let me rephrase. I don't know about concussion protocol, meaning you got hurt, had a concussion in the game. I mean he's been hit in exactly in under concussion protocol in the blue tent 4 different times this season, and he hasn't even played the whole season.
Yeah, so he played 4 games.
Exactly, but that's why I say you said it best though, and I also think it hurts that they lost Scatterboot. I just think when you take everything into consideration, the fact that He's coaching for his job. So there's a lot of desperation there, right? Then you got a young quarterback who has shown some promise, right? But then he's getting hurt often, right? And then your running back who actually was having a really good season and kind of like an engine that drove the team along with Jackson Dart, he goes down with a
Don't
season
forget
ending
about
injury.
neighbors.
Neighbors goes down. Like it's a lot of unfortunate stuff happened to the
Yeah.
Giants this year where they could have potentially been better. This is why I think I get what you're saying. As far as like a whole new regime with a new quarterback and all of that, I still think that given what I've seen this season, like they was playing for Brian Daboll. Like even when Russ was out there, the defense showed up. Russell
Yeah.
Wilson was just trash. He was awful, but the defense showed up. They came to play every game. And then when Jackson Dart was out there, him and Jackson Dart had a great relationship. Him and Scatterboo had a great relationship. They played for Brian Daboll. They wanted Brian Daboll to keep his job. That was clear and apparent to me. At least in the keep on going back to that game, but at least in the Eagles game, like it was clear and apparent to me they wanted Brian Daboll to keep his job. It just so happened that Scatterboo got hurt. You desperate. Jackson Dart is running a lot, and you're adding to his runs by calling a ton of design runs on top of that, right? And your schedule is extremely difficult. And like, yeah, they lost it. Everybody in their right mind knew watching how the Bears had played this season. When Jackson Dart went down, the Bears coming back, they gonna win. As soon as he went down, I said Bears about to win, cause Russ about to get out there and it's gonna deflate everything. It's again, I keep going back to this. Going back to the Eagles game, when Jackson Dart went out for a moment, again, I think those were those times where he was in concussion protocol. Russell Wilson came in there quick 3 and out. I think it was a third down pass. He had his tight end running a seam route wide open and dirted the ball, and the whole crowd just like, please let Jackson Dart be healthy, please let him be healthy.
Daboll was yelling at the doctor.
I mean, come on, bro. Like Russell Wilson deflated the team, and he did the same thing in the Bears game. He came in and it was deflating, extremely. So it's hard for me to put this on Brian Daboll. It's hard for me to put outside of, and we disagree a little bit on the design runs. Because again, he's taken off. If he's taken off by himself running, I'm calling less of those, especially after you've been in protocol a few times. I'm calling less of those design runs if you're gonna take off and run when I don't even call it. I'm just and then we don't have Scatterboo. But again, it's easier for me to say because I'm not coaching for my job. If I'm coaching for my job, I'm emptying the clip.
Yeah, I feel that. I gotta disagree with the. I don't think it got deflated in the Bears game because we came in the game. He threw a pass to Tracy on third down, and he got it down to the goal line. And then on third down again, Russell Wilson ran it and got pushed to the 1 yard line. And then Brian Daboll was just conservative and then kicked the field goal. And what about the 30-point quarter they gave up to the Broncos?
That was
You know what I mean? Like, bro, they gave up
that
too
was
many
crazy.
big leads.
That was
So
crazy.
like, I
That was
get it.
crazy.
Brian Daboll was a bit of a rapport with his squad, but the writing was on the wall when the season started. He was fighting for his job already. So if you got somebody, you never should have a head coach fighting for his job with a rookie quarterback. It makes no sense.
That's true.
Because you have plans for him to start over again with another. It is stupid to me.
It's-
Especially after what we just did.
It's
In your own division.
it's either you fire him from the jump, or with the rookie quarterback you give him some leeway. It's
Like
one
you
of the
just
two.
like you said. Yeah.
It's one of the two.
So
I'm
I
with
just
you on
think the
that.
meltdown was the last straw for him, and I was waiting for the last straw yesterday because, 10-7, I don't know what's going on, but we're going to talk about the NFC. The NFC is loaded.